The first CBS News poll of President Trump's second term shows him with a significantly higher approval rating than he enjoyed his first time in office. So 53% of Americans say they approve of the job the president has done so far. 47% disapprove. That's more than a dozen points higher than his 40% approval rating from February 2017. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joins me now in the flesh. What a treat to have you here.
How are you?
So, look, I mean, Anthony, at the top levels, people seem to like what he's doing. So what's contributing to these numbers?
The first one is this big number, 70%, who feel that he is doing what he promised in the campaign. There's political value in that, right? It's a lot of his supporters who feel like this is what they voted for and this is what they're getting. There's people in here who approve and disapprove of him, but still that kind of dynamic, especially early in an administration where people are evaluating based on what they saw in the campaign. There's this other point, too, that I want to emphasize. And speaking of the campaign, Kelly, we had a lot of descriptors of him during the summer, during the fall. We redid them here, and you see that majorities describe him as tough, energetic, focused. All of that is contributing to how they're evaluating these early weeks as well.
Yeah, 69% tough. Maybe that ties into what I'm going to ask you about next. So, look, improving the economy, fighting inflation, I mean, that was a key part of Trump's campaign. But your polling shows more Americans think he isn't focused enough on lowering prices. One of the main economic promises, of course, tariffs.
Right.
And there have been, going back to that tough point, some negotiations maybe with Canada and Mexico. What are people feeling about these tariffs?
Yeah, I see where you're headed, so I pulled up this slide.
I love it.
Right?
You're reading my mind.
So look, with regard to tariffs, you do see favorability towards China, tariffs on China, but all the other nations you mentioned, or countries, Europe included, Canada, Mexico, you get majority opposed. And it's always about the why here, right? So when you ask people, what do tariffs do? Well, there's a number of things, but the biggest thing that you see is, in general, they think they make prices higher. So coming back to the point you made about focus on lowering prices, yes, inflation was a big reason, maybe the reason, that Donald Trump won. So you come back, and of all the things that they see the administration focusing on, not focusing on, and there's a lot, one that stood out was this 2/3 who said, no, they don't think the administration is focusing enough yet on lowering prices. So that becomes an important dynamic to watch, certainly in the context of the argument around tariffs.
It is interesting, though, right? Because there was that promise, I'm going to lower prices on day one, which, I mean, look, I put my economics hat on. You can't do that, right? You can't just snap your fingers. And so at the same time, there's also this perception, though, that maybe he would be able to do that.
And people know that. So even in this poll, when we ask, well, how long, if you think he's going to lower prices, do you think it will take? That most of his supporters say, well, it'll take 6 months. It'll take a year. So they give him some time. And that's why I say this is something to watch. They don't expect it to happen instantaneously. They know a president doesn't have a magic wand to do that. But it does become an important evaluation then as we go forward, how that plays out.
Right, and what policies he's choosing, to go for. I got to ask you, though, about Elon Musk, okay? Because Democrats have attacked his involvement in the federal government as having a potential conflict of interest. What's your polling saying about that when it comes to American sentiment?
So we took a look at the general amount of influence that folks thought that Elon Musk and Doge ought to have. And what you get is these really partisan breaks. The first one, of course, you talked about Democrats, is this big majority who think it should have not much or none. But then within Republicans, you get a big majority who say it should have at least some. One reason for this is that some of these broader ideas, the idea of cutting government spending, the idea of cutting foreign aid, all of those things are popular with especially Republicans and have been for many, many years in the polling. But you also see that the number who say he should have a lot of influence, that's a lot more MAGA Republicans. You see the breakdown within the Republicans here. And that, I think, speaks to the fact that we're going to have to watch a lot of this going forward, especially as it applies to the base.
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, I love when you do that. You just make it so easy to understand. And I'm a data nerd, so I appreciate you, Anthony. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.